Hello everyone, this is Global Fashion Workshop. I remind you that we post new videos every day. I also want to remind you that some of my video courses are already available. Buy them if you haven't done it yet. I would really appreciate your support. Today, I'd like to tell you about sewing fast. What do we spend a lot of time on when sewing some garments? How to learn to sew fast. For example, sewing a coat takes me 2 days. I am going to tell you what to do to sew quickly. First of all, you need to have an accurate pattern. You should check all the matching points. The side seams of the front and the back should match. The shoulders have to match. A sleeve should also be accurate, in order for you not to spend too much time stitching it. Be very attentive during the first fitting. The second fitting is necessary to define the garment length, to align the bottom line after stitching and pressing all of the seams. You can correct a waistline, a collar shape, pockets placement, sleeve width and length, and an armhole line. The fit of the garment should be corrected at the first fitting. This is very important. Nowadays, a lot of tailors use dummies during the first fitting. Don't ever do it. When you make an individual garment, all the seams and lines should fit the person. The fitting ease should correspond to the particular body. It's a must. You should correct it during the first fitting. When you make all the corrections at the first fitting, you can take a garment off and start sewing it. You need to have some special knowledge and skills to sew quickly. I am going to tell you about them today. After making some changes, correcting shoulders and armholes and the fitting ease, you should define the pocket placement, the shape of the neckline, and the shape of the collar. Then you take off a garment and mark all the corrections. Then you need to remove the seams from the details, the front, the back, the sleeves. Make all the needed changes. And only after that you can start cutting the facing and the lining. We show you a lot of different useful details and techniques. I have the courses which you can buy. In the courses, we show you the making of some garments in detail, from the beginning to the very end. If you don't have an opportunity to buy the courses, you can find a lot of useful information in my free tutorials. Do not waste a lot of time on some details. You already know how to make most of the details, the facing, the lining, how to stitch them together. Do not forget about the welts, flaps, patch pockets. You know how to cut the sleeves and the lining for them. If the sleeves are accurate, you can define their length right away. Then, you should cut the facing and the lining for the front details, pockets and pocket bags. When making two seam sleeves, make lining with the two seams as well. I remind you that the lining should be shorter than the sleeves itself. Do not forget that some of the details should be doubled. Go to an ironing desk and double all the details at once. Double the front details, cut the extra pieces from them, and put them aside. Then double the back details, cut the extra pieces from them, and put them aside. Then double the facing, cut the extra pieces, and put it aside, and so on. You can do it when the garment is already sewn. Lay out the details accurately on a table after doubling them. Put the front and the pocket details, the front lining and the facing for button stand, the back and the back lining. Put the two seam sleeves and its lining separately. All the details should be doubled. Then you should stitch the chest darts. Do not forget to mark the dart tops. Stitch the belt or flap pockets, tag the seams and put them aside. Make a seam in the center back up to a slit and put it aside. Sew a center back seam in the back lining. Stitch an elbow seam up to a slit. Be attentive. A bottom line and a slit should be marked by a spacing seam. Then you can go to an ironing desk. Iron the front, shape the bust. Iron the button stand using a ruler to make a straight edge. It's a must. The edge should be perfect. Then you can put it aside. Press the flaps. Press the center back seam open. Press the waist tucks. Stitch the facing and lining and then press them. Then you can stitch the side seams. Do not forget to check if the right and the left sides match. It's a must. Whatever you do, check if the details are accurate. After marking the position of the pockets. After stitching the pockets. After cutting the pocket opening. Check if the details are accurate again and again in order to avoid making mistakes. The right and the left sides have to match. It's a must. You can make the overcast after stitching the side seams. Make a spacing seam, fold, and press the bottom. Stitch the side seams in the lining. Do not pile the details together. You can mix them up, and it will be hard to find the right one. You should always know where the needed detail is. This is why I always tell you to sign the patterns. Do not think that it's a waste of time. When the lining is stitched, you should take an outer detail, put it face up, and put the lining on it. The shoulder seams are not stitched yet. The outer detail and the lining should be attached face to face. Pin the details on the facing and in the center back. Check if they match. Cut the extra pieces from the lining. Make the lining tighter if needed. Stitch the facing and the bottom stand together and edge the angles accurately. It doesn't take a lot of time to do it. We have a video about making button stands. Watch it if you haven't done it yet. We show you how to double it, stitch it, and press it accurately. Follow the rules which I tell you. Use the techniques which we show you. If the details are prepared accurately, if your workplace is arranged accurately, if you follow the right procedure, you will succeed. Professional approach to the process of sewing will give you good results. If I start sewing a coat this morning, I will finish it tomorrow evening. Do not waste a lot of time on sewing a garment. The rules for sewing dresses is the same. Sew the side seams of the dress and the lining, check if the details match, and then sew a zipper, the center back seam, the shoulder seams. You should start making a garment with drawing a sketch. You need to define the function of this garment. Define the location of all of the lines, of the waist seam. You should do it before the first fitting. Otherwise, you would have to cut the new details. If you stop sewing a garment for some time, and then come back to it in a couple of weeks, you won't enjoy the sewing process. And then you won't like wearing the garment. You would enjoy wearing only those garments that you sewn quickly and accurately, using the right techniques. Good organization of the process lets you sew quickly. I cannot imagine myself going to an ironing desk after stitching just one dart, and then coming back to the sewing machine to stitch the other one. I always stitch the both of the chest darts, Then the waist tucks, the shoulder darts. Cut all the extra pieces in them. Make sure that they're accurate, and only then I take these details to the ironing desk for pressing and shaping. Then I go back to the sewing machine, make the pockets and stitch the side seams. Then I sew lining. As I've said, it's very important to lay out the details accurately on the table in order not to make mistakes. Do not mix them up. It will take you quite a lot of time to find the right detail. Use the professional techniques. Compare the side seams and the shoulder seams. Do not forget to check if the details are accurate. The left and the right side should match. It's a must. Make a spacing seam in the center front. Compare the distance from the center front and the dot tops. If it's different, correct it immediately. You wouldn't be able to do it when the dress is lined. Think about everything in advance. I hope that you will enjoy sewing and wearing your garments. Arrange your workspace accurately. Think about everything in advance. Use the professional sewing techniques. Stop sewing on your knees. And tagging as well. I hate it. A garment made this way can't be stylish. It can't be high quality. I recommend you using the professional techniques. I want you to remember to check if the details are even, to see if the seams are accurate. I always tell you to do it. It's a must for the left and the right sides in the garments to match. I hope that the purpose of this video is clear for you. I want you to take some ideas into consideration. First of all, you need to think about the design of your garment and make a detailed sketch. Be very attentive during the first fitting. Make all the necessary corrections right after it. Lay out the details accurately. Assemble the details in the right order. Then you will enjoy the process of sewing and make high-quality garments. Good luck in sewing. That's all for today. My name is Irina Paukshte. Buy my courses, subscribe to my channel, write comments, share the videos, press the like and the bell buttons. I would really appreciate your support. Thank you. Goodbye.